Hello, dear friends. This is Dr. Scott Hagan, and welcome to episode 22 of the 5-Minute Leadership Class. Iconic rock guitarist Carlos Santana tells an amazing story. He says that every year on January 1st, he receives a wooden crate, and inside that crate is a gift from his guitar maker, who handcrafts a signature new guitar for Carlos Santana, a one-of-a-kind guitar that they give to him as a thank you. What's amazing is not simply the craftsmanship or this one-of-a-kind guitar arrives every January 1st. It's this, that when Carlos takes it out of the crate, it's perfectly in tune and ready to play. You know, when I think about leadership, it's exactly like that Carlos Santana story. You know, there's a lot of wonder to leadership, this constellation of opportunity, relationships, friendships, habits, routines. It's all good. However, the crucible side to leadership is a lot like that guitar. Leadership demands that we wake up every day, we walk into a room, and we have to be in tune from the first second somebody tries to interface with us. That's a tremendous demand to stay in tune in leadership. We don't have to be perfect, but people do expect us to have a sound to our life that they can trust. So how do we respond to that crucible of being in tune every single day? I tell myself 4 things that help keeps my heart in tune, my mind, my spirit, and my heart. Here they are, very, very simple. Number 1, I tell myself, don't ever let something temporary become something permanent. You know, in life, we see all the time how a moment of tragedy turns into a lifetime of despair for people. You know, there's a story in the Bible of Naomi. She lost a husband, 2 sons. So great was her trauma that she changed her name to Mara. That terrible, terrible seasons or series of tragedies became a lifetime for her. It changed her identity. Something temporary became something permanent. In leadership, you cannot allow something temporary to become something permanent in your life. The second thing I tell myself is this: I have to cleanse the wound before I close the wound. I have to allow the truth of God's word to cleanse the bacteria that's inside the wound, not just close the wound, but to cleanse it. The Good Samaritan poured both wine and oil into the trauma of the one who'd been beaten along the roadside. The wine, it hurt, but it killed the bacteria. The oil soothed as the wound was closed. So I have to make certain in my life, if I want to stay in tune and ready to lead, I have to cleanse the wound, not simply close the wound. The third thing I tell myself is that life is not about giving people what they need, it's about giving them more than they need. Life isn't just simply about giving people the bare minimum in life, the easy answer. I don't operate in leadership from a place of scarcity. I have to operate from a place of abundance if I want to stay in tune and meet the demands of this world. Just remember, life is not about giving people just what they need. It's always about giving them more than they need. And the last thing I remind myself so I can stay in tune is that revenge actively destroys things, but grudge-bearing passively destroys things. So whether it's active destruction or passive destruction, it still ends in destruction. I tell my heart, you cannot bear a grudge, Scott, in any situation. You cannot have that lingering residue remain for a lifetime against people. So if I want to stay in tune and meet the crucible, the demands of leadership in this life, I have to remind myself that the world is not going to cut me any slack. I have to come out of that crate every day in tune. So I want to encourage you, don't let anything temporary become something permanent. Make certain you close the wound after you have cleansed the wound, okay? And thirdly, give people more than they need, not just what they need. And don't let any grudge bearing enter your soul. God bless you, lead well, and stay true to what God's put in your life to do. God bless you.